All right, Mackie Hill, welcome to the Kerner Report. I was having a weird flashback the other day. I was thinking back to when you were my mom in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in 8th grade. Do you remember that?
I do. That was pretty good. They had to write me in a part because they didn't actually have a mom in the new movie, but that was pretty special.
That's right. That is really special. Anyway, how are you doing? How's life? How is everything?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a Saturday morning. I'm kind of tired. I
Yeah.
got a tattoo yesterday.
I was gonna bring that up actually. I saw that on the Snap. I wasn't sure if that was on the DL. I didn't know what was going on with that.
No, isn't she cute?
So cute.
I know. So that's been the kind of most exciting thing in my life for the last little bit.
Wow.
I'm
How
quarantined in Berkeley right now.
so you're in Berkeley.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to touch more on the tattoo though, because how did that come about? What was the thought process for that one? Like, what were you thinking?
Well, I've wanted it for a very long time. And like probably about 2 years. And each
Mm-hmm.
part is a family member.
Uh,
And also, like, when I'm stressed, I like grab my wrist, so it's like a very grounding thing. So I'm excited about it. And then yesterday morning, I literally woke up and was like, I want to do something fun. It wasn't like a planned thing; it just kind of happened. So that
right.
was exciting. And I went with my friend who said she was just going to be there for emotional support, and then she got one too. So
Wow. What did she end up getting? I saw the snap, but I forget what she actually got.
she got a red star on her like inside of her ankle.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Tattoo buddies. I love that. That's cool. Is this going to be a one-time thing, or what are we thinking? 10, 15 down the line?
I want something of like Mount Tam on like the rib cage, like a lot of people do,
Right, right,
but I need to move further away first.
right.
So
That's
one day.
good. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations on your new tattoo. I also wanted to check in because so you're at Berkeley right now, and you're with your sorority,
Yes.
correct? Pi Phi, yes,
Yes.
yes. And but how are things with that? Because I know in months ago and during the summer there was an outbreak in Berkeley. Talk to me.
It's pretty good. It's
Yeah.
pretty safe. There's a scare like every week, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
But everyone in my house has been negative so far.
Right. Do you
Nobody,
guys get tested usually a lot or something?
we're not mandated to. So
Yeah,
that I like kind of wish we were, but I went yesterday with some friends like just
mm-hmm.
to like check in because we're
That's
seeing
really
my
good.
mom. And then yeah, I don't know, it's pretty fun. It's definitely a weird vibe. It's nothing like I expected my sophomore year to be. It's more like low key and quiet.
Yeah, yeah.
It's definitely hard to do Zoom online classes in a house of 32 girls.
Yeah, how is that? Because I'm with three other people and I'm like, all right, this is too much. So I can't even imagine 32 people.
I also don't have a desk in my room.
Oh my God.
So
What are
I
you
we do
doing?
it in like a big like room. It's called the study. There's a bunch of tables and chairs and like the best Wi-Fi and there's air conditioning.
Uh-huh.
So we're all supposed to like do work there, but it's a quiet area. So if you have to like talk in the Zoom lecture, I mean, I am in the old like door, like bunch of beds talking
Right.
right now because I like don't have a better place to talk because my friend's asleep in my room.
Is this room a place where you could go to study, or is it just like a hidey hole place?
We're actually not allowed to be in here, so I'm kind of
It's all good. Uh, so yeah, also how are classes going and everything? Because online, like you said, it's a weird situation.
they're going well. It's weird because they're like asynchronous and synchronous. So
Mm.
all the asynchronous ones, I feel like I have so much more work just because I have the like class and then the homework and I just like all piles. Like it's good. My poli sci class is really putting me through the ringer, but
Yeah. For me, it's my American War and Vietnam class. What the
whoa.
professor did, he's like he was in he was in the Marines like during in the war. Like he's like kind of intense at times. I don't blame him, but he was like for our first essay, we just got it back, and he was like, "No one's gonna get an A. It's gonna be difficult." I don't know how it is at Berkeley if they do stuff like that, but this was kind of
They
shocking for
do
us.
like grade deflation, so they like grade on a curve in like all the STEM classes.
Hmm.
So like they're only going to give 10% an A. So you're like in competition with other people.
Yeah.
like regardless of the grade. It's so annoying.
That's rough. That's rough.
But how's USC? Is it good?
It's good. I like it a lot, even though it's online. There's still a lot of fun things to do. There's a lot of like speaker events that they're still trying to put on, which is nice. I haven't joined any clubs or anything, but I feel like that's difficult. One day next year, hopefully. But yeah, I really like my classes. I think they're really interesting. A little more.
I love hearing what other people are taking. It's just like so different and so cool.
What are you taking? What's your schedule looking like?
Okay, I'm taking Poli-Sci 1, which I wish I never took. Just because, like, I was so excited. It was like, it's an election year. Like, they'll talk about awesome things. Like, Ruth Bader Ginsburg just died. Like, we'll have a great lecture about it. He touched on it for maybe 30 seconds, then goes back into, like, the Constitutional Convention. It's a little painful.
It's like historical poli-sci.
Exactly.
That's rough. Okay, anyway.
Right? And then I'm taking, like, Stats 2 for psych, because I want to be a, like, psych and media studies major.
That's cool.
And then I'm taking this cool class called High School the Movie.
They have a class about High School Musical?
No, High School the Movie. Watch all these different like high school movies and then like write about them and analyze them in the context of like what it shows about like the high schools and teenagers. It's kind of cool.
Interesting. That's really interesting, actually.
Yeah, I really like it.
That's cool.
And then I'm taking this like physiology class. So.
Okay. So bad.
Yeah, it's just a lot of work, but like it's kind of interesting. We just did the sex ed unit and kind of love it.
Yeah, my friend sent me a snap, like a memory of like a year ago when we were in our biology class, and we had like a sex ed day, and it was like kind of random. It was just like a weird thing, but yeah, got to go through that.
I know. It's kind of fun when there's like not little like 8th graders like snickering in the back.
Right. It's a little better when they're college students. Hopefully not snickering. I'll tell you what I'm taking. I'm taking 2 PR classes.
Cool.
Just the intro to PR major here. Also, what is your major? I was just wondering.
I think media studies and psych, and then I kind of want a minor in education.
Oh, that's such a cool mix.
And things. I don't really like know what I want to do yet. So.
Right. That's cool. Anyway, 2 PR classes. One just strategic PR intro, and then one for writing intro. And then the American War and Vietnam class, and then a linguistics class, which is like my math credit.
Ooh, what do you think about that?
It's really interesting, but at the same time, it's like math, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
It like makes it more interesting than math.
How do you do linguistics about math?
It's the same thought process of math and like figuring things out and like solving things without like high-end number addition, subtraction, like even like at that level. It's very much like quantitative reasoning. That's why it's under that GE. It's really cool it's like figuring out how to do translation, and we're doing a lot of like Python coding and stuff like that. So it's cool.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, that's my class schedule right now. It's kind of crazy.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
How's it like with online? How's it like with everything online?
Very strange. My schedule is more packed than I thought it would. Say that.
Isn't that funny? I was like, I don't have any classes on Fridays. Like, I need to get an internship, and like now I spend all my Fridays like studying.
Yeah. Are you able to go on campus and like do things?
The campus is closed, but we go all the time for like little night adventures, or like we study on campus because our Wi-Fi has actually been down recently, so we've been studying on campus a lot.
My Wi-Fi was down like a month ago, and it was rough.
Yeah, you can't do online school with no Wi-Fi.
No, you cannot. All my classes were getting cut out. No good. I feel for that. But that's cool that you were able to kind of still go and hang out a little bit. I was also just looking a little more into Pi Phi, and it seems like you guys are doing a lot of philanthropy and volunteer work. How is that going? Are you still able to do that type of stuff?
So before we like went into schools and like read books to kids, so that's not happening anymore. And then we also did this thing called like Aero Bands, which is like each frat like pays $100 and like enters like a lip sync competition. It's like totally Pitch Perfect vibes.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like they get half the money and the philanthropy gets the half the money. So I hope we can do that. Like that's like a fingers crossed thing. But last semester we did it on TikTok, which was kind of weird. And then we'll do like little fundraisers, but it's hard because you like can't gather, and especially like the Greek community here like isn't allowed to even be seen with like one other person. Like you're not
Mm.
allowed to like congregate in any way, or like your chapter's threatened.
Your chapter's threatened. Doesn't sound good. Well, that's cool that you're still able to figure things out. I think that's really interesting that you're doing it on TikTok.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Uh, did that work well? Like,
I mean, obviously not as fun as like everybody being in a big like ballroom and like watching dances, but like some of them were
yeah,
pretty successful.
I feel like that gives you a new opportunity to make things like you could do like some animation or like, I don't know if they're going like
Mhm.
that far, but
Yeah,
like,
some people did it with like their dad, and it was like just one girl. But then some people did like the entire like frat. I think like in years past, you just like pick a song and like crazy costumes and dance to it. But the videos like that don't go online, like they were so funny when I would watch like the videos of years past. Like it's a bunch of like frat guys in bathing like bikinis. Like it's good.
right. All for a good cause. I like to see it.
Exactly.
Um, I also wanted really to get into this. I don't even know if I should be bringing this up because this could be like, Andrew, this is a dumb question. Next question. Or, well, let's just see. What do you think? There's been a lot of controversy from what I've seen the last few years between UC Berkeley and UCLA and like who's the number one private school thing. I wanted to get your perspective on this. Is this like a UC Berkeley, no question, UCLA's trash?
Huh. Well, I
Or
obviously think UC Berkeley, no question, UCLA is trash.
right, that's why I'm like,
But
why am I even asking?
but I also think there's like a secret ploy in the like university system to like
Oh,
whole competition.
what
But
is this, Mackie? I don't know about this.
like I think like they want the two schools to be in competition, so like people go to both and they both get a big international population.
So you think it's like a PR stunt for both of them
Low
to get more
key.
popular? Interesting, but
But UC Berkeley, no questions asked. Who has
right.
more Nobel laureates?
Who is more? Yeah, but then doesn't UCLA have more Olympic athletes or something?
Yeah, but who has more swimmers?
Yeah, see, I can't do this with you because I just like watching the drama on the sidelines. But that's interesting. And how is the rivalry different than your rivalry to Stanford? What do you consider more? What's the bigger rivalry, UCLA or Stanford?
Definitely Stanford, but just
Okay.
because it's number one public school, like there's a little bit against like UCLA. So like if you're wearing a UCLA sweatshirt, people are like, but if you're wearing a Stanford sweatshirt, like you take it off.
Right. Okay. So now I feel better because, for us, we're like, our rival is UCLA. Like, why are you stealing our rival a little bit? Like low key.
Yeah.
So it feels good to know that you have a bigger rival with Stanford, which makes sense. Which
Oh
makes
yes,
complete
it's
sense.
a big one. I went to the big game last year and it was so fun.
Yeah, there was a lot of was there trash talking back and forth like on the
Yeah, and
in
we
the
won
stands?
too, so that's kind of exciting.
We won our big game against UCLA too, so I was happy about that. I don't know if I should be saying this, but because my people will get mad, but I was actually on the UCLA side during the game.
Wow, you traitor.
I had to sneak over because my friend had an extra ticket, and I didn't go to USC at the time,
Hmm.
so that's my excuse. So
So it's kind of good because then you like saw the other side. You know what you don't like.
I knew exactly what I didn't like. I hated
There
the
you go.
whole. I loved it when we won, but I hated the whole experience of sitting there watching them cheer when they scored. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I would just, I like whenever USC scored, it was with Sam Settleman, and
Oh,
whenever USC scored, I would just look over at him and just be like, yeah, yeah. Like I couldn't say anything. I couldn't like
yeah,
cheer.
because you're like surrounded. What colors were you wearing though?
Oh, he gave me a t-shirt and I wouldn't put it on. I just had like a normal like t-shirt on. And he's like, put this over. I'm like, no, I'm not touching that. I just had it over my shoulder. I was loyal, but I was secretly on the other
Our
side.
USC game was so fun last
Didn't
year.
didn't we beat you?
Yeah, you beat us, but it was
Yeah.
like the best pre like thing, and it was so
Yeah.
fun, and all you guys came up. It was a good one.
It was a
If it
good
ever
one.
goes back to normal, you should come up.
Absolutely. No question. How does that work with see, I have never had that experience yet, doing the whole football game thing besides sneaking over and I Ubered there. I snuck over to the other side. That was my big football experience, but tell me what is it like having that? Because I know this is kind of a follow-up too, but like there's like the parent days and like stuff like that. Like it seems really interesting.
Okay, I have a lot to talk about then.
Okay.
A game day will start at 6 a.m.
6
By
a.m.
the game could be at 11, the game could be at 1, but the game day will start at 6 a.m.
Jeez.
By like people screaming in the hallways and like banging pots and pans and like waking you up. It's normally the seniors who wake you up.
Okay, okay.
And then you get all ready and you like put on something short and tight. It's horrible. Put on a lot of glitter, eat some bagels, and then like
Is that the
first
game
frat
day
event,
food? Is bagels the
we
game?
like to give you carbs because it's a long day. It's a
Uh,
marathon of drinking.
yeah.
And then you go to first frat at like 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give you some really cheap mimosas.
Really cheap mimosas. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's like more of the chill party, but like the parties before it will start at like 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then those will have like 200, 300, 400 people.
Wow.
And like those are huge. And if like on the USC one, like all the USC people came, which
Are
was
you
fun.
partying with USC kids?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I brought Jake Glenn and Sarah Goldman with me.
Okay. Okay.
So it's kind of fun.
Right. There's no like
I actually
you know.
ran into Danielle Ferroni last year.
Oh, no way. That's
Yeah.
so
It's
funny.
like randomly. I was like, what?
Yeah. She was there too. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
So it's
But
kind of awesome.
is there a lot of rival or like, anticipation during those events, or is it kind of like, oh, we're all chilling?
It's like more like we're all chilling, but there's like these things that are up. Like it was like Aunt Becky drinks free.
Oh,
And
okay.
like welcome to the school you didn't get into. Like stuff like that. Like they like paint these things like and then put them up all over the frats and stuff.
Okay, okay. I see. I see how it is. So there's a little bit of banter back and forth.
Exactly.
That's always good. Okay, so
But
you go to the
parent
parties.
days,
Hmm?
the parent days aren't
Yeah.
like I mean there's a parents weekend which is like a Berkeley thing, but like the parents game days, like the frat side of it, it's like just for like sorority and fraternity like parents.
Hmm.
So we have a mom's weekend, a dad's weekend, and a parents weekend. So our parents are very involved.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
on the dad's weekend, I texted my dad like the plan. So my dad actually went here. He was in a frat too.
Oh, very cool.
So I texted him the plan, and I was just like, yeah, like first place 8 a.m. Like probably won't go to like 9, but I'll call you when I wake up. And then like stayed up late and set my alarm for like 8:15 so that I could like get up and like slowly because I was tired.
Mm-hmm.
And I wake up to a phone call from my dad, and he's like, "Dude, I'm at Fiji. Where are you?" It's like 7:55,
Wow. So he
and he's
knew
just there by himself, and I'm like in bed. I was like, "Oh boy!"
he
So I
knew
like
the
get
deal.
dressed, I
Yeah.
get all ready, I run up. My dad's been hanging out with all these frat boys for like an hour. By the time I get there, and everyone's like, "Your dad is so cool," and
Oh
he's just
my
been
God.
hanging out, and he
That
like
is
let
so funny.
himself in.
He did what?
He like let himself in because he knew which one was Fiji. Because
Wow.
like, he's been here before. So
He
he
knew.
just like walked in the back. He's like got a warm, gross beer and just hung out with the boys. It was so good.
Oh, that's so chill. He knew the whole deal. He knew everything. That's great.
I just can't believe he like did it on his own. Like everyone was like taking their parents around, and like I had to go find my dad at his parties.
Right. He knew the ins and out already. He knew how it
Yeah.
all worked.
And then at the end of the day, I was like really tired and done. So I went home, and he goes back out to another frat. Dad.
That's
So
good. But you were with him at the game, I assume?
yeah.
Okay, okay. Then he just goes
And then I'm just like, hey, I think I'm gonna go home. And
Yeah.
he's like, okay. And then he like calls me like 2 hours later. He's like, hey, like can't really drive back to Marin, like a little drunk. I was like, you're still in Berkeley? And he had like been at this like frat with his like friends who has a kid in it or something.
Oh, that's good. That's so good.
Yeah.
A big reason I ask about this is because I think this weekend was my quote unquote parents' weekend at USC. And I think that
What's it like online?
I don't know. I think what they're gonna do, I don't know about you guys, but I think what one of the things that they do is they have them come to like our schedule and like follow us for a day or something like that, like in class and go to classes. That's what I think. And like part of it is going to the game on the weekend, and then like doing stuff like that and like doing the pre and post game thing. But now it's online. So what they're doing is, I think they're just going to zoom in to a class that I'm in from the other side of the house. It just seems kind
That's
of
kind of cool though, because I feel like
yeah.
our parents' weekend has less to do about like the academics, and like it'd be kind of cool to like
I
show
feel,
our parents like you couldn't do this class.
I feel like this is what it's turned into though, because I feel like that sounds like a traditional parents college type
Mhm.
experience. You know what I mean? But now they're like, you can just come zoom in. So I think my parents, and I think a lot of parents, are going to zoom in to my PR 209 class, and we're taking a midterm that day. It doesn't make sense, but whatever happens. We'll
Huh.
see. Yeah.
That'd be kind of weird to like watch on a midterm day. Like see everyone stressed.
I yeah, I don't know. Usually when we take tests though, we don't have our video up.
Huh.
I don't know about
I'm
how
surprised you still have to like zoom into it if you're taking a test with video off.
I think it's more for like asking questions and things like that.
Yeah.
But how have you taken tests? Have they done the eye tracking thing? Have they done the video on, video off?
I don't zoom into my classes. I only have like 3 Zooms a week for discussions.
Oh wow.
And then the rest of it is like literally asynchronous or like watching videos whenever. So they'll normally give people like 24 hours for a test, but then once you start it, it's like however long, like 80 minutes or an hour or whatever, because we just have so many international students.
Yeah, they do something similar, but I feel like that's kind of for me. I would find that a little frustrating because I like being able to like hear and ask questions in real time. How do you feel about that?
Um, from a academic standpoint, like it learning wise, it'd definitely be nice to like be in the like classroom and like be able to ask questions. But I like get stressed for tests, so like to take it on my own like leisure and like sign in when I would like feel ready is kind of nice. So
Yeah, no, I get that. That's always good. I think it was slightly rough waking up. I have an 8:30 class. That's the earliest class I have. And I've gotten used to it. But getting up at 8:30 like stressed out for a test is kind of like a midterm. It's kind of a lot, but
yeah,
it is
see,
what it is.
I don't have anything until like 2 to 3 or like 5 to 6:30, and like I will not get
Ah,
up until 11.
that's so nice. Oh my god. That's so nice. I've just gotten in on the early morning lifestyle. I didn't have that last semester because last semester it was I had one 8 a.m. I had one 8 a.m. on one day, I
I
think.
had that last semester too.
But then every other day was like 11 or 12 and I was like,
Hmm.
okay, I'm chilling. Oh my god.
Had that exact thing, and like you can like make yourself do it once a week, but like I couldn't do it more than that.
No, man, it's rough. It's rough, especially when your like schedule's half and half cuz like you're never going to be on that time zone of like waking up super early, but
Yeah, it's like good, except that once I wake up at 11, like my friends have all been studying for like 3 hours.
oof.
Like, fuck.
Yeah. How does I was one more sorority question. How does food work?
We have a chef,
Oh, okay.
so we get fed We get fed lunch and dinner Monday to Friday.
That's
Isn't that
so
amazing?
nice.
And like it's not like here's some like mac and cheese. Like it's like here's some crusted salmon with like some rice pilaf and spinach, and like it's so good.
I don't even know what rice pilaf is. What is rice pilaf?
It's like rice with like nuts and stuff in it. It's good. It's good. I
Oh
recommend.
my god.
And it's like fancy. And they like made creme brulee for dessert the other
No,
day.
no, not.
Like
Oh,
this is amazing. I live in a country club. And
jeez.
then on the weekends we have to fend for ourselves.
I feel like I would just stock up in the week during the week.
Just like take extra food.
Yeah.
I actually think I do have some like spaghetti bolognese in the fridge.
Oh, of course. The bolognese, yeah, the classic. Oh my
Easy.
god. Oh my god. I'm living off of chicken nuggets at this point. No. That's so good. Oh my god. That is so nice. I heard the food at USC is not the best.
It's the same here. Like I went to go and visit last year and I was like, oh, that's the one thing we have in common. Like the food sucks. But
And this is part of you being in a sorority. being part of that.
No, I went and visited Sarah and Jake.
Oh no, sorry, for your food.
Oh no, our food is delicious. The like dorms
Right.
and the like residence hall, like that food is disgusting.
It's no good. But you're able to get the good food because you're in a sorority and you're in your own little system.
Yeah, like there's a chef that comes to the house and cooks in our kitchen and then puts
Can
food
you do the thing? I've always wanted to do this where there's like is it like a big kitchen, like a lot of pots and pans type
We're
thing?
not allowed in it, but I think it is.
Oh, what? Because I feel like it'd be fun to like walk in like, oh, what are you making? This is delicious. I'll have this, and walk
Especially
out.
during COVID time, right? Like, ooh,
Right.
fingers.
Okay, now maybe not now, but yeah, maybe never do that. But but like just that's so nice having a chef. Holy shit,
Is that crazy?
that is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They give us like bagels for breakfast. Like it'll be
Okay.
in a drawer or like some cereal.
It's a nice continental style breakfast.
Exactly.
Okay. Jeez, man, that is so
I know. I'm
cool.
like telling my parents, they're like, well, that's where our college funds are going.
Good
So,
food. But that's so important. I honestly think that's so important when you're in college and like studying and you got to have the good food. I think that's so
and
good.
just like how much better I feel this year than like last year because I'm
Mm,
not eating Lucky Charms for every meal is like really, really
yeah.
good.
Is that a good representation of what's in the dining hall?
No, it's always like something crazy, but it just tastes disgusting. So I resort back to Lucky Charms.
Damn.
Sometimes toast.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how it will be because I don't think I'll be in a dorm when I get to USC. I'll be probably in an apartment and maybe I can cook for myself. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you know how to?
Yeah, I'll cook. I'll
Okay.
figure
You're
it out.
better than most late teenage boys.
I, f- I feel like you just gotta like learn some dishes and like also it's a lot about I think what helped me is because I was with my grandparents for a year,
Mhm.
and they're constantly like like making a chicken, like or making this or making that,
Yeah.
and then you have the food and you can do leftovers. I don't know. It's a whole little cycle. It's a fun little game.
I love cooking. I need to get better at it. I like to cook with my friend. Her name's Ava here.
Hmm.
And last time I burnt her wall.
Her wall.
Like all this oil came up and like sprayed against the wall.
Wow. What were you cooking?
The like Tamil pie style Brussels sprouts.
Those are good. Those are good
It
Brussels
was
sprouts.
so good, and like the oil like squirted.
Yeah. And it burned the wall. Wow. Um, did you still were the Brussels sprouts still good though?
They're delicious, but
Okay.
her wall doesn't look too good. Hopefully, the security deposit will cover it.
Very nice. Yeah, I love those.
Mhm.
Well, anyway, Mackie, I know you got places to be. You're very busy. Um, Thank you so much for coming on the Kerner Report. I want to do a few more announcements, or the announcements before we wrap it up. I do this after every episode. It's just what happens. All right, announcements. Go follow the Kerner Report podcast YouTube channel for full episodes. Go to TKR Podcast Clips for clips and highlights. Go to teespring.com/shop/TK Report for the Kerner Report Essentials merch drop. We have some great stuff on there. So go grab some merch and support the podcast. New episodes are up every Saturday. Next week, I'm joined by George Settleman. So stay tuned. Mackie, thank you so much for coming on. It's been awesome.
Thanks for having me. It was nice to see you again.